Hello and welcome to the Letterbox podcast, the podcast that proves that everyone has a story to tell, one letter at a time. Every episode, I read a letter sent in by one of you. They can be about anything, anyone, a moment that changed a life. Some are signed and some are anonymous, but every single one is real. Today's letter was sent in by someone who wants to remain anonymous, but she did say I could share the following details with you. She's a 31-year-old woman living in Canada. She lives a life that to many sounds enviable, and she says she's happy. However, she dreams of something different. And that's where this letter comes in, because she's writing a letter to her boyfriend, someone she loves, someone she's been best friends with for many, many years and has known long before they got into a relationship. She says the relationship is one she is happy in, but knows that maybe they're no longer meant for each other. Before I read you this letter today, if you've been enjoying the podcast, please do press the follow button, share an episode with someone who you think is going to enjoy it as well. You guys are doing an amazing job at spreading these letters all across the world. So thank you so much, and please keep doing that. Like I said earlier, remember these letters are real, and please remember to be kind. These letters just give us a little snippet into someone's life. We don't get the full story, and having spoken with her, she knows she's not the only person who's in a relationship where love hasn't faded, but maybe they've just grown apart. So here it is. The boy I'm about to break up with. I've been writing this letter in my head for longer than you'll ever know, because I don't know exactly what I want to say. Every time I think I've found the words, I immediately start trying to unsay them. Writing this feels like a rehearsal, a way of seeing whether I can survive the sentence before I ever have to say it to your face. I'm so sorry. And not because I've made up my mind, but because I know I've been standing with one foot in this relationship and one foot outside for longer than either of us deserves. Oh, you probably think everything's okay. If one of your friends asked you about us today, I imagine you'd smile and say, you've never been happier. The strange thing is, I'd probably say the exact same. That's what makes this so difficult. You haven't become someone different, and neither have I. We talk about the future all the time. Well, at least you start the conversations about it and I go along with them. From the outside, we probably look like we're the people who've got it figured out. But every now and then a thought appears that I can't seem to put back where I found it. It usually pops up when we're talking about the future. You'll say something about buying a house, or where the children's bedrooms could be, or what age you'd like to be when you finally settle down. I'll smile. I'll join in. I remember when you sent me that house with the little reading nook and said, I can already picture you sitting there. I told you I loved it. The truth is, all I could think about was whether I'd ever be ready to live in it. When I was on my own later that day, I realised I'd been picturing a completely different life. It's not that my idea is a better one, just different. I want to disappear for months with nothing booked except a flight. I want to wake up somewhere I've never been before and decide what the day looks like over coffee. I want to climb mountains at sunrise, learn to scuba dive, live abroad for a while and build a collection of exciting memories. Not flat pack furniture. I'd love for you to be standing beside me whilst I did it all, because I know you'd really love all those things too. But we've had those conversations. You don't want that. Maybe for a holiday, but not for your life. You want to be somewhere that feels permanent. You want to know what your next year looks like. You want a family, and a big one. And I know that I don't. Every time we've spoken about it, neither of us have tried to change the other's minds. We just smile, kiss each other, and carry on. As though wanting different things is just part of us being yin and yang. Everyone's always said we work because opposites attract. And I believe that. We absolutely did. Maybe we still do. But I worry that isn't enough anymore. I think we've both been telling ourselves for too long that it'll eventually solve itself. That one day I'll wake up wanting the same things you do. That I'll be ready to put down roots and stay still. I've waited for that feeling too. I promise you I have, but it just hasn't come. This isn't about another person, by the way. I promise you that. There isn't one. You're the one who makes me happy. You're my best friend. I love you. That's what makes this so hard. Because every time I picture choosing the life I want, I also picture asking you to give up yours. And every time I picture choosing yours, there's a part of me that wonders how long it would be before I started mourning the one I never lived. Neither of us deserves that. Least of all, you. Because you're the greatest person I've ever met. I mean that. You never told me my dreams were unrealistic. You simply hoped that one day they'd look a little more like yours. And I hoped that too. I really did. Maybe that's why I've stayed so long inside this conversation instead of having it. I've been waiting to wake up one morning relieved that I don't want those things anymore. It hasn't happened. I wish this letter was angry. I wish I could point to one moment and say, that's when everything changed. Instead, it's just a steady stream of lovely, ordinary days. And they leave me with the same question. Are we choosing each other? Or are we choosing to avoid the fear of hurting each other? And that really scares me. I know, by the way, that people are going to judge me for not doing this sooner, if I manage to do it at all. They'll say I've been unfair, that I've strung you along, and maybe they're right. That's okay. Because there isn't a single thing they'll say about me that I haven't already said to myself. I hate that I'm going to hurt you. I hate knowing you're going to be heartbroken. I'm devastated too. I don't want you to think this has been easy. It hasn't. I love you more than anyone. I don't want a life where you aren't in it, but I know I don't get to choose that once I finally say these words out loud. You deserved the truth sooner. And I'm sorry it took me this long to find the courage to give it to you. I'll love you. Always. And there it is, our letter for today. I've kept in contact with this girl and we've had a few back and forths, and she told me that last week they did have a conversation. So thank you to our letter writer for today, because I know that there will be people listening who too have stayed in relationships far too long for fear of hurting the other person. So once again, if you have enjoyed this podcast today, please do make sure you're pressing the follow button. And remember, if you've got a story you want to share, you can do it anonymously. You can put your name to it. It can be about absolutely anything. But get in touch. The email is in the show description, or find me on Instagram. I can't wait to hear from you. So, until the next letter, I'm sending you lots and lots of love.